Hello, everyone. I, Sulakshana, welcome all our viewers to today's session. Joining us today in this session is an expert who has a strong passion for innovative farming and social leadership. She has transformed dragon fruit cultivation into a successful business empire. She is Dr. Sunila Kumari, the founder and CEO of Dragon Flora Farms. Dr. Sunila, with a PhD in horticulture, is a passionate horticulturist, an agripreneur, and a social leader. She is the driving force behind the Bhumi Foundation, an NGO dedicated to empowering rural women, supporting farmers, and nurturing the potential for youth through skill development and sustainable practices. Hello, Dr. Sunila, and welcome to Krishi Jagran.
Hello, Sulakshana. Thank you for having me here today.
So, Dr. Sunila, please tell a bit about yourself and how you have started Dragon Flora Farms. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. And Dr. Sunila, I'm the founder and CEO of Dragon Flora Farms. I come from Haryana, where my deep-rooted connection with agriculture began, and I pursued my PhD in horticulture, followed by an MBA in international business management, which gave me a unique blend of scientific knowledge and business acumen. So, after about getting varied experience for 15 years, I had the privilege of working in academia, corporate, and then into my own entrepreneurship. So, my passion for sustainable farming and empowering farmers led me to establish this Dragon Flora Farms, which focuses on promoting exotic fruit cultivation, particularly the dragon fruit. And our mission is to support the farmers, introduce innovative farming techniques, and contribute to the growth of Indian agriculture landscape.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing your journey. So, dragon fruit is also known as a fruit of future. So, what inspired you to start Dragon Flora Farms, and how has been the journey so far?
Yeah. Uh, like we often call this dragon fruit as the fruit of future for many good reasons. So mainly the key points are its resilience, its adaptability to various climate, and the immense health benefits which makes it sustainable and a profitable crop. So this inspired what means this is what all these characteristics they inspired me to start this Dragon Flora Farms LLP, because I saw the immense potential in this exotic fruit both for the consumers and for the farmers also. Coming from the horticulture background, I was drawn to the challenge of introducing a high value crop like dragon fruit to Indian farmlands. But despite its benefit, there was limited knowledge and resources available for the farmers to grow it successfully. So I just wanted to bridge this gap by offering scientific research based solutions and hands on support. So, the journey till now has been incredibly rewarding, starting from establishing demonstration farms to train hundreds of farmers. Every milestone has been a learning experience, and today, Dragon Flora Farms is recognized for its sustainable farming practices, farmer centric approach, and contribution to building a thriving dragon fruit ecosystem in India. And seeing the farmer achieve better income and consumer enjoying quality produce makes all the challenges worthwhile. And it's just the beginning. Like, we are committed to further expand and expand our impact across the country.
Okay, that is very nice to hear from you. So, how is Dragon Flora integrating sustainability into its farming practices, and what are the innovative techniques that you are using at the moment?
Yeah. So this sustainable farming is core. It's the core of anything which we do. So main thing is that most of the farmers, whenever they come to us, most of our farms, they are all, we try to make them as much as organic possible. So we inspire them to avoid chemical usage, especially the chemicals which will leave in residue. And then they will have the precision farmings, like all the modern farming techniques of the precision farming and sustainable farming are adopted by all our dragon fruit farmers. And apart from that, we also keep on giving them scientific like schedules are given, so that they will add only what is required at what time it is required, so that their cost is minimized, the negative impact on the environment is minimized, and our farmer gets the maximum out of it without damaging the environment.
So, it is like a package of practice that you have developed for the farmers. right?
Yes, we have developed package of practices, and also like whatever is required till the farm produce reaches to the customer and in safely. Like we also give them hand holding in the value chain process which starts after the harvest. There also we make it very responsible, and we also educate our customers so that the transport is sustainable. It is minimizing, because we don't use any ripeners like ethylene or something else. We try to educate them to use eco-friendly packaging materials, like either they will use the gunny bags or they will use the bamboo baskets. So we try to avoid as much as we can anything which is causing pollution in the environment.
Okay, that is very nice to hear since you are from an agriculture background already, so you have scientifically incorporated these things into your venture.
Yeah.
So now I would like to know that what are some of the, because dragon fruit now, in even now, it is also considered as an exotic fruit. So it is not like readily available in most of the areas in the nation. So what are the biggest, some of the biggest challenges that you have faced in this farming of dragon fruit, and how you have overcome them?
Yeah, this is a very apt question, and you have pointed it rightly that still this dragon fruit is, it needs a huge introduction actually. Usually, even people in cities are not much aware about this dragon fruit. They have just heard about it. So, education is only the key thing. So we have been educating people about like what is dragon fruit, how to eat it, and how to because most of the people find it hard to imagine like how to consume it. So although it seems like a very basic question, but it is very much necessary to address such kind of questions also, and to need the although see there are two-way things. One, on one side we are saying that there is huge demand in India. We are importing dragon fruit from other countries. On the other hand, we also have to see that our farmers who are growing it, they should get a ready market. So this gap can only be bridged by education. So we give seminars, and we try to connect and educate people through social media, and also we help make the health benefit and other kind of posters to our growers, so that their farm is actually itself an education center. They will have beautiful posters, and they will highlight all the health benefits and other benefits they can get from dragon fruit, so that people get aware. So like only if, and now we have seen that even in the reality shows and on the social media, people are talking about dragon fruit. So even we need some help from the government and other agencies also, so that this wonder fruit, which is really, and the medical things which we the medical claims, they are supported by the medical reports. So we all need to just put it in a right context in front of the customer, so that they can get educated. And there is no means as far as means I know now, like more than 10,000 hectares of area is there, but the Indian farmers are getting very, very good price. So till now they are not facing any issue in marketing it when they have the right quality of the fruit. Yeah.
So it is very thoughtful of Dragon Flora that you are even awareing the people about, with your, along with your work, you are awareing the people about its benefits and also helping the farmers as well. So my last question to you is, and I think it's a very relevant question to the farmers or maybe the agropreneurs. So if someone tries to cultivate dragon fruit, so what advice will you give to them, and like what initial investment they would require, and what could be the possible returns from it?
Yeah, this is a very good and very important question. See, the answer is variable. There are some key points which any new grower should never compromise upon. First and foremost thing is the quality, the variety which he is selecting. Because in the world, we have more than thousands and thousands of varieties of dragon fruit, and world over, the hobbyist and the enthusiast, every year they are adding 100 200 hybrids into it, but not all are suitable for Indian context. Like at Dragon Flora Farms, after 6 years of research, we have identified two selections, DF selection 1 and DF selection 2. So these are verified, tested across many territories, and these are giving stable and consistent yield. So firstly, selection of a suitable variety which will apt to your environment, and getting the quality planting material is first and foremost thing. Secondary, when we talk about the cost of establishment, dragon fruit is a plant which needs support, and that support is usually provided by cement poles, or we can use iron structures also, because the biological age and the economical age of this dragon fruit is considered 25 to 28 years. It's a long age, so because it needs some support, so we need any support which will have a life of 28 to 30 years, so that you get the maximum out of your yield. So the cement poles are the most economical things, but we also educate farmers that if at some places the cement pole is very costly, so we also give them the design and ask them, in your lean period you can make your pillars yourself to save the cost. If somebody is at a place where the wooden timber is very cheap, for example in hills and all, so wooden timber is also very good support. So we don't force them that you have to do by only pole or you use GI. Whatever is easily available, whatever is strong enough to stay at your farm for 25 to 30 years, you can select. So the cost will vary a lot, because maybe at some places, if I buy wooden a piece in of 8 feet width, 8 feet length in Delhi, it will cost very high. But for a person who is in Assam or some other hilly area, maybe from his farm he can get it for almost free of cost. So that is free. Apart from that, any good quality planting material will be, they can get it for some 70 to 80 rupees from any good vendor. So approximately, if they go with the trellis system, which is an advanced system, latest technology, scientific cultivation, where you can accommodate 5,000 plants in 1 acre, so the cost will start from 7 to 8 lakh rupees per acre, and it may go up to 12 to 15 lakh, depending on your location, what is the local labor wages, then what is your transport cost there. So if a farmer is having his own resources, like he's having his own tractor, on organic manure and everything, maybe he will be able to wind up in 7 to 8 lakh rupees. Maybe somebody near to city, who has to buy everything at commercial rate, they may, the initial amount may be 12 to 15 lakh rupees. And when everything is done scientifically, we can assure you this Dragon Flora Selection 1, it has got the potential. The average yield which we are getting, which we have recorded from the farm, is 20 to 26 tons per acre. It means average 20 tons per acre is quite easily they can achieve. So if they invest wisely in the initial phase, this amount can be easily recovered within 2 to 3 years of establishment at an wholesale price of 100 rupees per kg, and which is very very safe calculation. Currently the retail price of dragon fruit in commercial market is 300 to 500 rupees a kg. So if a farmer will put in farm gate price of just 200 rupees, it is a very good business venture for him. But this they can get it or assume it only for the small or medium scale. When we are going for commercial farming, 100 rupees per kg wholesale price is very very good price. And tomorrow, even if it goes below to 50 rupees a kg, still the farmer can get 10 lakh rupees per acre with the scientific farming, which is very very lucrative, and a very good return as compared to any other horticulture crop.
Right. So that is actually a very right calculation, because even though it's an exotic fruit and even though it's not that known, but the when you have said that it has a very good profitability and return. So I think with our session today, many of the farmers and the agripreneurs will be benefited from this interview. And thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing such great insights and talking to an horticulturist by heart and also a PhD holder about a fruit that is less known but now progressing in the market. So that was very insightful and very thoughtful. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your time, and we wish you a very good luck for your future. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much, Sulakshana, for this beautiful interview. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.